Okay, let's keep moving forward. Now let's dive into diagnostics for all process failures and actions that occurred in the controller. I'd say this is one of the most important topics for maintenance or anyone handling the operation of the robot because issues often pop up during processes. So maybe we have a missed signal simulation or we have unexpected events. Sometimes those things can even impact the regular workflow of the robot, calling up routines that was not needed, missing points, or um, so it shouldn't have happened those things, but it can happen. So engineering and maintenance teams need to perform a detailed analysis to understand what happened and prevent recurrences. Now, with KUKA robots, we have tools to track this actually. The controller has a diagnostic file called the chronological file, and it shows you everything executed on the robot, even with message IDs, okay? It shows us the message type, and the best part, you can set up filters to isolate specific event types or times, for example. So around here, jokingly, we call this the KUKA snitch. And yeah, it logs every action you do in the robot. User inputs, even, for example, system changes. Let me show you what. Let's go to the menu here, diagnostics, then chronological file. You see two options, configure and display. Let's click display first. And here's the live log file. Okay, that's it, simple to access, right? And this panel displays the icons for event types. This column shows the event ID. Timestamps here indicates the exact date and time of each action, and the log provides also a short brief description of events in this column, but in the bottom section we have a more detailed error explanation. Here's where active filters show. So what type of filters are active, messages are active, and this is the total number of entries appearing here. Okay. With this, I can check things like Cartesian speed in T2 is still limited. Okay, what does this mean? It means that someone switched to T2 mode. That's standard, okay. But earlier we saw that in T1 mode, manual programming uses a reduced speed to move the robot. T2 is full manual, but per safety standards, if someone misses and put T2 by accident, the robot often defaults the speed to 10% or even 3% of the configuration, depending on the robot and the configuration. When you switch to T2, then the speed will drop as a safety precaution. See? And this is exactly what this message is saying, that we were in T2 mode and it was limited speed. Okay? No surprises. So you even see if someone deleted a data file here also in the list or a source file. But to see this, we need to activate proper filters. But every action is tracked to help you audit specific process stages of the robot. Now let's check the filters. They let you isolate specific events or time frames. So to do this, we click here on configure to set them up, filter. And you can filter by event type. So we have, for example, let me specify what data to focus on. So for example, if I click here, I can select everything, and if I click on save, it will load every single action logged. You see entries like user switched from operator to administrator mode or back to operator mode. Every permission change is tracked here, even with event IDs and timestamps, and also descriptions. Everything visible. But you can narrow down your search and maybe filter only warnings. So let me save this filter here. And now it shows only warnings for me, and this helps us to isolate specific issues. So take your time to review what options do you have here in the chronological log files, and during the shift you need to see what happened. Okay, so once you've done this, you can export this. Let me select everything, so later you can generate a file and apply Excel filters for deeper analysis, for example. But this is more flexible. It depends on your needs, but you can export it and like this with everything showing. Uh, so once we export, we'll have a filtered or a full log, based on the settings we can make here on the Flex Pendant. And once exported, you can open it here in Excel and to sort or add more filters more easily. So to export, let's access the chronological files and let's click this on export. Up here we can see where it was stored. So we have logbook 2023.txt saved here in Kuka logs. So we need to, that's your go-to for troubleshooting your audits or documenting things. So I can then copy the text file that was generated, transfer it to my computer, and analyze all events during a specific time frame of the robot. If needed, pause the process, grab the log, and review exactly what happened. Check with actions an operator performed, like mode switches or deletions. Okay? To summarize, this is how the log system works. The exported chronological file structure is presented here. This is straightforward. And as I mentioned, you can convert it to CSV file or paste it into other analysis to just use the Ctrl F to search for specific keywords like manual mode activation, for example. Either way, this log is critical for diagnostic robot issues, where it is human error or unexpected process conditions. Everyone makes mistakes, right? So totally normal. Or sometimes the PLC or robot hits an unplanned scenario, and that's why these logs are fundamental for troubleshooting. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks, guys.